Hello everyone, and welcome to this week's Astrology News Report, an alternate view of world events as seen through the lens of Vedic astrology, presented by yours truly, Ron Berger. Today is January 31st, 2021. In this episode, we'll take a look at what's coming up in the zodiac for February 2021. But before we begin, a note to all viewers. The weekly videos on this channel are available to people who donate to the channel. You are watching the once-a-month free public video. If you would like to have access to the upcoming month's weekly reports, stick around for the link at the end of this video to make your donation. Thanks. A very significant astrology event for February 2021 has already started. Mercury began its first retrograde period of the year this past Saturday, January 30th, while at 2 degrees sidereal Aquarius. During the next 3 weeks, we can expect the usual problems typical of Mercury retrograde. Communications get delayed, so check and recheck that your message got through. Mistakes in transactions are more common. Count your change. People tend to be more irrational. It's not a good time to be making important decisions. Information is more likely to be incorrect, especially at first, so don't believe everything you hear on the news. On the other hand, since Mercury retrograde is the planet of facts and information and reports, going back over the past, there will be more stuff coming out about past events, like the Capitol riots, Trump's malfeasance, and so forth. And then, just a week into the retrograde period, on February 4th, Mercury backs into sidereal Capricorn, and things start to get really messy. The problem is that in Capricorn there are now a whole bunch of planets transiting. A retrograde planet in conjunction with another planet will cause distortion to the other planet's significations. So, as retrograde Mercury sequentially contacts all these other planets, we can expect a bunch of problematic events, more than just the usual Mercury retrograde annoyances. Thus, the first 3 weeks of February will be rather fraught with difficulties. In other words, not a good time for getting important things accomplished. For instance, from February 12th to the 17th, retrograde Mercury will be closely conjunct Jupiter. This is generally unfavorable for the significations of Jupiter. Mercury, the planet of communications, ideas, and reasons, going backwards, combining with the planet of beliefs, truth, wisdom, and so forth, results in misplaced belief, bad judgment, misunderstanding the truth, bad faith reasoning, and so forth. The exact conjunction is on February 14th, Valentine's Day. And note that Venus, the planet of romance, is just a couple of degrees away. So, misunderstandings with your significant other. Another factor that will make this Mercury retrograde period more problematic is the square aspect pattern between Mercury and Mars. The planet of force and aggression is in an inimical formation with a backwards planet of making decisions during the second week of February. The interaction of Mars and Mercury generates a lot of impatience, anger, and bad decisions, even destruction. The exact square is on February 10th. Oh yeah, this planetary mess will be happening just in time for the Super Bowl on February 7th and the start of Trump impeachment trial number 2, scheduled to begin on February 8th. Expect anger over bad decisions for both. Mercury Retrograde will end on February 20th. I'll be doing a full report on all the ins and outs of this Mercury Retrograde period in next week's video. Venus went into sidereal Capricorn on January 27th and stays until February 20th. That's the planet of compromise and agreement in the sign of practical goals and tangible results. It's the planet of guidance in the sign of responsibility. So, that sounds good. It should help to bring opposite parties together in the pursuit of achieving something real. Venus is a financial planet. Capricorn is realistic and responsible. So, this should help with the negotiations to find a realistic compromise for Congress to pass a COVID rescue bill. But turns out there's a problem. For a lot of the time that Venus is in Capricorn, Mercury will be retrograde there as well. Retrograde Mercury will screw up some of the potential of Venus in Capricorn due to the usual Mercury retrograde problems. In other words, miscommunication, misunderstanding, misinterpreting the data, and so forth. And in addition, Venus will have to contend with being in a square aspect pattern with Mars, the planet of force and aggression, which will continue to put the planet of compromise and agreement in a troublesome state and unable to do much good. Then, on February 20th, Venus moves on in the zodiac and enters Aquarius. For a few days, Venus will still be in an inimical square aspect pattern with Mars, which enters Taurus on February 21st. But since Venus moves at about twice the speed of Mars in the zodiac, this square aspect pattern will be short-lived. Venus in Aquarius is the planet of romance, in the sign of the social revolutionary. In other words, this position will favor the progressives, the liberals. While in Aquarius, Venus will encounter Neptune, planet of dreams and idealism, which will increase the romance with social idealism energy. But the exact conjunction isn't until later in March. Okay, getting back to Mars. So, Mars has been in its own sign, Aries, since December 23rd. A planet in its own sign is strong, both for the planet and for the sign. Mars in Aries is proactive, ready to start new projects, and impatient for results. Uranus, planet of sudden events, freedom, and rebellion, is there with Mars, adding an extra kick to Mars for events, even an urgency for results, but also a certain risk factor. An example of this energy pattern is the new Biden administration, which was born when the Mars-Uranus conjunction was exact. Joe Biden is not waiting around for Congress to act, but just diving in, and in his haste to do something, signing dozens of executive orders. Anyway, Mars is going to change signs, moving into Taurus on February 21st. Taurus is one of Venus's signs, so when Mars goes into Taurus, it will be ceding its power to Venus, planet of compromise and agreement. At nearly the same time, Venus will be entering Aquarius. The two planets will still be in a square aspect pattern, in other words, in an inimical relationship as the month draws to a close. Aquarius, where Venus is an air sign, in other words, a sign of ideas. Taurus, where Mars is an earth sign, in other words, wanting wealth and tangible value. So we see that the two planets, even when they are out of exact square aspect, will still be in placements that are inimical to each other. Speaking of tangible results, let's not forget about Saturn and Jupiter, which have been transiting in practical Capricorn since last year, and are both still in that sign through February and March. Saturn and Jupiter are two of the prime players of the zodiac's energy patterns. By being Both in Capricorn, they provide a strong down-to-earth counterbalance to everything else that's happening. Note, too, that in President Biden's natal chart, this combination, along with all the other Capricorn planets this month, is creating a lot of activation for the third house of his natal chart, the house of self-efforts, initiative, and use of skills and talents. But with retrograde Mercury taking part as well, we can be sure that there will be a lot of screw-ups in the coming weeks. I'll be doing a full analysis of what's going on in Biden's chart in a report in February. Okay, so there's a brief look at planetary patterns for February 2021, and now a reminder, you have been watching Astrology News Reports once a month free public video. If you would like to see the upcoming weekly reports for February, donate $20 by clicking on or touching the donation card you see at the end of this video, which will take you to the donation page. If $20 per month is too much for you, you can donate $10. The link to each week's report will be sent to you via your email. Here's a description of what's coming up in the February videos. February 7th, an in-depth analysis of Mercury Retrograde in Capricorn. February 14th, an update on predictions for the Biden administration. February 21st, the Mars transit in Taurus and the effects for each rising sign chart. February 28th, a preview of planetary patterns for March 2021. You'll not want to miss out on all these great upcoming videos, so here's a link for your donation. Just click or touch the card, which will take you to the donation page. And if the card does not appear or doesn't work, you can find the link in the comment section below. Thank you, and until next week.